field. I see the Eagles coming out from the far side. And we'll be set to kick this thing off. James Madison hosting Georgia Southern after we break 2 minutes for network messages on this, the Georgia Southern Sports Network. Once again, we're back with you live here in Harrisonburg, Virginia. Nate Hirsch along with Frank Inman, statistician Hugh Colson. Georgia Southern has won the toss. They will defer until the second half, and they'll be kicking with the wind to start things here in this first quarter, which will be left to right for those of you that may be watching the game on television or you're just listening to us this afternoon along our network across the state. It's homecoming here today. It'll be homecoming next week back in Statesboro for Georgia Southern when they take on Tennessee Chattanooga. And we'll try to watch the score later today as Chattanooga will be playing against the Furman Paladins, currently ranked number 3 in the nation. Well, as we get set to kick this thing off, a better crowd than we've had here, of course, our 2 visits earlier up here simply because we've got a much better day with the weather to help out today. And their band's going to move around to the other side and fill up there. The seats down below us are really filling up. And the seats to the far side look about half full right now. Temperature game time is 45 degrees with a strong wind at times gusting 20 to 25 miles per hour from the south. And it'll definitely be a factor when you're kicking with the wind.
It certainly will be, and it'll be a big factor when you're against the wind. The wind will play, as has been the case in most of Georgia Southern's games this year, pretty strong wind. This time it'll be from our left to right as we're looking at the game, and Georgia Southern will be kicking off with it. Today, I am really fascinated to see what's getting ready to happen. The offensive team that we're getting ready to face averages nearly 270 up front and well over 200 in the backfield. Their game plan will be to try to get 2 major horses working. Willie Lanier, who will be the guy to Lena very quickly, I think, along with the back who's been so good for him, Greg Melody.
All right, here we go. David Kuhl to kick it off for Georgia Southern as the Eagles take on the Dukes of James Madison. And here's the kick with the wind. It's a high floater. Going to back him up 3 yards in the end zone. He'll bring it out to the 5, to the 10, to the 15. He cuts away to 20, 25, 30. We only have 2 people there. He gets by 1. He gets by another, and he's down the far sideline, all the way down to the Georgia Southern 30-yard line. And we've got somebody shaken up on the play down at the 10-yard line.
I'll tell you what, it was almost a replay of what we saw last week. The kick drove the receiver about 3 or 4 yards deep in the end zone. He came up the middle of the field. There was a wedge formed at right about the 10-yard line. Suddenly, he just broke right through it, and nobody laid a hand on him until he made a move to the outside up here past the 50-yard line, and the ball was actually, he was knocked out of bounds way into Georgia Southern territory at the 38-yard line.
And right away, we've got somebody hurt on the opening kickoff of the football game, and we'll have to see who that is they're tending to as he's been sprawled out. I don't know if that's Mark Giles trying to see who's left on the sidelines, who usually gets down on our kickoff coverage. He's being helped up. Let's see who it is. It is Mark Giles.
He seems okay, though. He's going off on his own. Boy, what an unusual play. The wedge was not what you normally see. It was a straight line of blockers of about 5 guys just pressed, shoulder to shoulder, and he just broke slightly off to the left and up the middle.
So they're at our 32-yard line with an I formation. They'll go to the tail. He goes to the 31, and we push him back there as they bang straight ahead with Greg Medley, 5'10", 210-pound senior. Medley has been a workhorse here for a couple of years. He's a senior. He's out of Halifax, Virginia. He has most of the school's records except for ones that were set a couple of years ago. He's about the number 2 all-time rusher in their school's history. He was banged up a little bit a couple of weeks ago. It's a second down call following a short gain of 1 from the 32 to the 31-yard line. They stay in the I formation. 1 wide man on the right side. He now comes in motion. Left side. Williams rolling that way to throw. May want to turn the corner. He stops. He throws it for the corner of the end zone. Broken up at the last second. Good coverage over there. Randell Boone would not let that pass get in there.
Boy, that's an excellent play. There's a flag on the ground, and it normally out in that area, it usually means some kind of offensive penalty, but they got in a too tight end flanker set. The I formation sprinted out to the left. Everybody was blocking one receiver downfield. As a matter of fact, Nate, he was wide open. That was a fantastic move right at the end to break that pass up. Just a great break on the ball, and the penalty, I believe, is going to go against them, not against Georgia Southern. against James Madison.
And if it's a 10-yard penalty here, I think you got to take the penalty and go ahead and back him up and get him out of field goal range. The flag is dropped at the 29, so it must be a hold, and they'll mark from the spot of the foul when they'll walk it back to the 39-yard line, which will give them a second down. Oh, it's only a 5-yard penalty. Which I'm a little more surprised we accepted the penalty then.
It's a loss of down.
Okay, they're calling it an ineligible man?
Yes. Loss of down, which is a big play, and plus the 3 or 4 yards. So the ball is moved back now to the 34-yard line, and it'll be third down and about 11 yards to go.
All right, so it's third down now. Line of scrimmage, the 34-yard line of Georgia Southern. You got to expect the throw. They put motion to the left side, one back behind Williams. 3 receivers left side. He runs at quarterback keeper and breaks away. Nobody there. 20, 15, 10. Williams will score an easy touchdown. Well, there we go. As we saw the athletic ability of Eric Williams.
Boy, what a play. They ran a called quarterback draw. He is very quick. He's very small, 5'10", 150 pounds. He started playing a couple of games ago. They are undefeated with him at quarterback. He stepped to his left about 2 to 3 steps, broke back to the right in the arms of the defender who missed the tackle, and he was home free without anybody touching him after that.
Perez, number 40. Johnny Perez is their extra point man and place kicker. Ball is down. The kick is up, and it is good. Played a minute and 4 seconds of the first quarter. And we'll be back in 60 seconds after network messages on this, the Georgia Southern Sports Network. Dynamite player he is. He's out of Hampton, Virginia. He is a redshirt freshman, and he is the difference in their ball club.
Boy, they say, and the coach mentioned this to me before the game, he has really turned them around. They have become a really quick football team with him at quarterback. 2 huge plays, a great kickoff return that gave them good field position. Georgia Southern defensively looked very good to me up until that play. It was a very short series, but they had stopped them. They were in good field position, but they had stopped them. And then he runs the quarterback draw, and it was perfect. It was a quarterback draw just like you Statesboro folks have seen run at Georgia Southern by 2 good quarterbacks at Georgia Southern.
Here's the kick into the wind, fielded by Karl Miller at the 10, 15, 20, 25, comes to the 27, and he gets gang tackled there. Now, I must tell you what James Madison did on the kickoff. There's a flag down on the play at the 30-yard line also. Was a little odd. The kicker was lined up by himself and then had 10 men behind him at the last second spread out. It certainly keeps the receiving team kind of loose out there.
It does, and it gives them an opportunity to try onside kicks and things like that. But as you said, they did it very quickly. They lined up and spread out as they came up on the line of scrimmage and kicked the ball very quickly once they were aligned. Georgia Southern has decent field position.
Not anymore. We've got a personal foul coming up here. Let's see, they're going to spot it after the play is over. We're in bigger trouble, and they are saying a dead ball foul, Frank.
Boy, now that really makes a big difference because that makes it 1st and 25, and Georgia Southern now is backed up inside of the 15 to the 14-yard line.
It is 7-0. We've only played a minute and 11 seconds, and we're in a deep hole. 1st and 25, back on the Georgia Southern 14-yard line. Raymond Gross trying to settle down the offense. Runs the option, tosses it back to Joe Ross. Gets by 1, and he gets drilled at the 15-yard line. He maybe got back to the line of scrimmage and fell forward for a half a yard, and that is it as they come up in a hurry to make the stop from the outside. And again, those outside linebackers, like Jermel Harris, the right defensive tackle, all over him.
They run a 50 defense. They are huge up-front people. They average 6'2" or better and over 252 pounds. Their linebackers are outstanding. Their safety is the best that Georgia Southern has faced.
So trouble early on here in Harrisonburg. Miller in motion left side. Gross pulling that way to stop and throw. He's going to go deep left side. He's got Donnie Allen for a reception, and he fights all the way up to the 35-yard line. It's not enough for the first down, but boy, it puts us much closer.
And I want to tell you, you cannot throw the ball any better than that. This is a sprint out pass to the left. He pulled up after about 5 or 6 steps, and he rifled the ball all the way across the field, and on outcut, taken right at the 35-yard line. It'll make it 3rd down and a long 3. 3rd and 3. Now, they have really come out of deep trouble, and, of course, obviously, this is a big play.
Darryl Belzer is not here today. Sorrell, who didn't start, is in the lineup now on the right side, and Gross is back to throw. Chase is on. He has to come out of the pocket. Look out, Raymond. He throws and he gets hit. He hits Joe Ross at the 35. He breaks a tackle for a first down. He dives down to the 39, make that 44-yard line, and it's a Georgia Southern first down. How did Gross get off that pass?
I'll tell you, that is a big-time play. I am really surprised. Georgia Southern on 3rd and 3 normally comes out with some kind of a running play action pass. This time they sprinted out to the right. Raymond pulled up in deep trouble. Finally, somebody had him in their grasp, and he found Ross as an outlet and delivered it to him perfect for a first down.
Eagles to their 44-yard line, trailing early in this football game, 7-0. They'll keep it inside. Raymond still has it. Going to toss it wide to Karl Miller. Cuts upfield, 50, 45, 40. Miller, 35, gets caught from behind. He's down to the James Madison 29-yard line. A Georgia Southern first down on the far sideline.
I tell you, Georgia Southern makes it look awful easy. But Karl Miller that time made an outstanding play. This is his plain option play to the left. But the problem is that it's spread out over there defensively. Karl Miller then made on the reception of the ball, split the seam. He cut inside of the defensive back on the outside and outran the linebacker to make a first down out of it. A great play by Karl Miller.
Line of scrimmage, the 29-yard line. Going to go to Joe Ross. Steps over one, goes to the 25. And that's where he gets tackled as he picks up almost 4 on the play as they bounce him down just shy of the 25-yard line. It'll bring up a second down. The officials, they stop. We have a penalty flag down. They stop things for a moment.
I think it must be some other kind of timeout, maybe. I'll tell you one thing that you can mark down right now. If you see Georgia Southern come up with a lot of second down and 6s, that is making 4 downs on first down, you know their offense is working the way it's supposed to. That's the fullback, just a straight handoff on the option. He picks up 4, 2nd and 6. You know, I guess we're going to have a lot of these timeouts today.
Well, this one is for moving back the Georgia Southern bench. They felt they were too close to the field, and so they've asked the sideline, looks like, to move back a little bit. I guess you're supposed to give them a little bit of room there because they're backing everybody up. You notice that? They went over and talked to Erk.
I never have seen them take that much time to do it, but that's not bad.
They have backed them up, though. Second down, let's call it a long 6. Middle of the field, 25-yard line of James Madison. Motion away from the play, Karl Miller. Giving it inside to Joe Ross. He'll get a couple. The ball popped out. Was he down? They're saying he was down.
The official called him down for sure. He marked his foot right up there. He may actually picked up maybe 3 yards, but boy, that ball really shot out of there. I do think, though, they had knocked him back a little bit when it came loose. It's going to make it 3rd down and 4. The ball is nearly on the left hash mark, and now Georgia Southern is at the James Madison 23-yard line.
11 minutes and 15 seconds to go in what has been an adventure here in this first quarter. 7-0 as James Madison scored right away at the beginning of the game. Eagles trail it. Here's a big 3rd down possession play. Motion to the right side, Ernest Thompson. See if he rolls that way. Gross rolls to his right. Going to look to zip the throw to Thompson. Too far. Incomplete. At the 15-yard line, it's 4th down. And Georgia Southern has got to put the field goal unit on there.
Boy, that time, the execution was very good. Everything except possibly the throw being a little bit too far and too much lead because Thompson was open. Thompson had a first down, but he just couldn't hang on to it. The field goal attempt will be from the ball being placed just inside the 30.
Mike Dowas to try the kick. Terry Harvin to hold. He's kicking with the wind. Here's the kick. It's up. It has the distance. The kick is good as he puts it through with 10:53 to go in the quarter. 7-3, James Madison leads. We'll break 60 seconds for 3 ball game. We have 10 minutes and 53 seconds remaining in the first quarter of this football game. And needless to say, we'll watch now this kickoff return because the last one, we got run back in our face. A great return last time from Tom Green, who was listed as a backup quarterback.
And he took that ball out of his end zone about 4 yards deep to do that. Georgia Southern now for 2 weeks in a row has had disaster on the kickoff. One for a touchdown and this one for about 70 yards. I'll tell you what, those folks that are on the specialty team, which is a kickoff team, really have to come together. It's an individual effort, let me say that about all of them, because you have to sprint down the field with total disregard to your body to try to get to that guy. But somewhere along the line, you have to maintain lanes and you have to maintain field position. And that time it certainly got away from Georgia Southern.
The fans with sarcastic applause. They have a gentleman down in wearing a white top, black pants, white cap, who is really controlling this football game for television.
And boy, is he big enough to do it. He must weigh 300 pounds.
Here's the kickoff. It's a high floater. Same guy Green to bring it out from 2 yards deep this time to the 10. 15, he gets crunched there at the 16-yard line as the Eagles close the wall. This time we had Curtis Gordon on the bottom there to make sure he wasn't getting out of that pile.
Well, I was interested to see if they did it the same way again, and they did. At the 15-yard line, they had 5 guys that were lined up shoulder to shoulder. That time, Georgia Southern broke right through it, made the tackle, and they have the ball at the 16-yard line.
No huddle. First down as they go with a one-back set. Wings on each side. Williams, the quarterback, puts motion to the left side. He hands it off inside to Medley, and he gets cracked as he pops across the 15. He's out to about the 18-yard line. Let's check it out. It's number 28. That's Willie Lanier, who has come in the ball game early here in the first quarter.
They lined up with 2 tight ends, no huddle, and 2 wingbacks. This is an entirely different set from anything that Georgia Southern has played against this year.
No huddle offense for James Madison on second down and about 7 from their 18-yard line. Motion man comes to the left. He has the football, tries to step upfield, gets in at the 20, and push back very hard. Steve Bussoletti would not let him go anywhere.
That time the fullback, who is 6'2", about 245 pounds, went straight over right guard and they faked to him. Both guards pulled. They hand to the wingback, the right-hand side wingback, coming to the short side of the field. Picked up only a couple. It's third down and about 6.
That was Garrett Washington, number 32. Again, no huddle on third down. Big play if we can hold him. Let's see if he throws the ball here. Williams puts motion one way. He still has it. Rolling to his right. He wants to throw it deep down the middle. Receiver there, and it is caught at the 43-yard line of James Madison. It's a first down as Taz Dixon has to haul him down from behind. And a big first down it is. Well, they went upfield and complete the pass.
It's very difficult for Georgia Southern to get ready for this offense. When the quarterback fakes to a wingback coming around and then bootlegs back, it is a very strong pull that direction, and the receiver got open.
First down up to the 43-yard line. Motion to the right side. They pop the middle. They go to the 47-yard line again with a no-huddle offense today. I don't think anybody was talking about seeing a no-huddled offense team today.
I'll tell you what, it causes problems defensively because you don't have time to get your signal from the sideline for one thing, and you have to really hurry up. You can't talk much about what you're doing. So they picked up about 3.
Second down and 7 up to the 47-yard line. The Dukes with the wing sets on each side of the field. Now put a man in motion coming that way. Williams still has the ball. He dropped it. Let's see who's got it. Georgia Southern thought they recovered, but Williams, I think, has recovered his own fumble.
He mishandled the snap. That time again, 2 tight ends and 2 wingbacks. They lined up about a yard and a yard, about a yard back off the line, of course, which makes them eligible receivers, and a yard outside of the tight ends. The split on one side of the ball is very tight. That is, they're almost foot to foot, guard tackling in. On the other side, or at least so far, to the short side of the field, that's the way it's been. The wide side's been a little more split.
73, the center, Rob Howard, was the one who fell on the football. This time they'll go into the huddle for the first time. They've got a crucial third down play once again. And now it's third down and almost 8.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. James Madison leading 7-3. Man in motion left side. Williams pulling back that way. Stops. Being chased out of the pocket. He gets hit and goes down at the 40-yard line. A loss on the play as the Eagles come from all directions that time. Tim Brown, Gift Smith, they all met with the quarterback at the 40-yard line, and James Madison hurries the punting unit on the field. The Eagles go back to receive.
They go in a split-end attack that time, sprinting to the split-end for a sprint-out pass. Excellent coverage downfield and perfect rush. Ends up a loss. They'll have to kick it. He's kicking from his own 26.
Scott Todd is their punter. As he kicks into the wind, he puts up a beautiful floater, and Oglesby will make the catch and go right down at the 23-yard line.
That's a good kick.
Yeah, it was definitely a good kick that time. Hugh, how far did he go?
36 yards.
What happened then, though, Oglesby had a good position. I thought he had a real break up the middle, but he slipped when he started up the middle, and so he was not tackled. He actually slipped down, and Georgia Southern takes over at their own 22.5. So they have stopped the drive and taken over the ball at their own 22.5.
All right, 7-3, James Madison leading. Gross trying to settle down his offense now. Keeps it inside with Joe Ross. He steps over one and goes down very quickly as he gets hit at the 25-yard line. Number 97, Matt Uliana, the 6'2", 250-pound senior from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. They recruit well, certainly from the Virginia, Maryland, Pennsylvania, the Northeast area here.
Make the point again that on second down and 7, that's not what Georgia Southern's looking for. They need the fullback to pick up 4. He comes up a little short. It's second and a long 7.
Two receivers now basically to the right side of the field, one to the left side of the field, as Gross may be changing the direction of the play. Second down call. He keeps it inside himself, trying to turn the corner. Pitches it late on the far side, and we step upfield and get some yardage with Karl Miller before he gets bumped out of bounds, running very hard across the 30-yard line. Let's see where they spot him out of bounds. Back at the Georgia Southern 31-yard line. We've got third down coming up and short third down at about 2.
He picked up 5 on an excellent move into the short side of the field. The option pitch, when he pitches deep like that, is a tough thing to defend against. Miller made a great little inside cut out there to make what he got out of it, and did pick up 5.
So here's a possession play for the Eagles. They go to the short yardage set. They give it to Thompson. He runs into the middle. He bangs upfield, and he appears to have the first down at the 34-yard line. Went with the short yardage offense. He went off right tackle, basically, and got that first down.
I tell you, that's encouraging to see Georgia Southern able to do that because, as we've said before, and we don't want to dwell on this too much, but defensively they have a very strong, experienced, big football team. A nose guard and a tackle that are all conference-type people, along with the best safety man, free safety maybe in the United States.
Allen, the left side of the field. To the right side of the field, you've got Sorrell. Gross wanted to throw. He heaves it in traffic, and it is intercepted and dropped. Should have been picked off that time. They had Frank Jacobs, number 3, the cornerback, ready to take that overthrow at the 45-yard line. He simply dropped the football.
He really did, and Karl Miller, though, was wide open. They faked to the fullback, and then the quarterback dropped back. I thought there were open receivers, and possibly he waited a little too long to throw. When he did throw it, and this could be an example now of this business we talked about earlier about throwing downhill. They're throwing out to his right, and the ball was well overthrown. Miller was open, but they just dropped it.
All right, second down and 10 as we were throwing on first down. Gross spins one way, still has the ball, comes upfield to the 40, breaks a tackle, 45, first down, Georgia Southern. As he comes across the 45-yard line, he put his head down there, and he knew exactly where he had to go.
Raymond Gross is one of the best quarterbacks in the United States. He is a great option quarterback. That time it just didn't look like there was anything out there, and suddenly he sees a little crack and takes the inside cut, runs in against the green in between two defenders, and makes a first down out of it. That's not an ordinary play. That is a great play.
So the Eagles have the football now at their own 46, trailing 7-3. 6:24 to go in the quarter. He gets hit. He dropped the ball, and James Madison just simply took that one away from him.
Boy, you have to credit number 97, Matt Unana, if that's the way you pronounce his name. He got Gross in his grasp, and Gross then tried to make a late pitch. He has been extremely successful at doing that, but notice that time, Nate, how high they tried to tackle him, and the ball just never got away from his arm hardly, hit the ground, and they came up with it.
All right, we're set to go following the official timeout with a first down. James Madison on our 41-yard line. Eric Williams now lines him up in an I formation. He still has the ball. Turns the corner. Look out. He gets hit and finally goes down. That time, Taz Dixon came up, make that Mike West 28. He came up and was able to get him just before he was about to turn the corner, and he might have had another big gainer. Eric Williams has it down to the Georgia Southern 35-yard line. He just got about 6.
Now, this is out of the I formation, again, with two tight ends and a flanker to the left. They ran the straight option play back to the right, what you call the lead option. Quarterback right down the line. That big fullback becomes the blocker. The tailback then is the pitchman.
Second down and short. They keep it straight ahead. They slam forward. They've got a first down all the way down to the Eagle 31-yard line. Let me get you a station break in right now as we'll pause 10 seconds for a station ID on this, the Georgia Southern Sports Network. Well, Greg Medley getting the ball and just banging straight ahead gives James Madison a first down. The Eagle 31-yard line. Give it to Medley again. He gets hit the line, and the plays already whistled in before it gets going. So we got a flag down, which would usually mean a penalty against the offense.
I actually thought that time that the fullback started off in motion, but that couldn't have been the call, I don't think.
Well, you never know. It is procedure.
So it might have been, but at any rate, it's a 5-yard penalty against Georgia Southern, and that's an automatic. They didn't even snap the football. So it'll be 1st and 15, and that's a break. Georgia Southern has given up field position already now twice in this football game, one with a great return of the kickoff, and then with a turnover, and those are two things that you cannot afford to do against a good football team. It was evidenced a minute ago, by the way, when Lanier ran that 4-yard must third down for a first down very easily.
1st and 15 as motion comes to the left side of the field and a flag goes down again. And let's see what this is all about. I don't see it.
That had to be something now against the offense, I would assume. Some kind of movement.
Yeah. There is no 25-second clock to look at here. And, of course, they weren't even going to the huddle before, so that wasn't a problem. But they just backed themselves up to a 1st and 20.
Boy, now those are two critical errors that now have been made by James Madison. It'll be 1st down now and 25, I guess it is. 20. And, of course, they have now backed up to the 41 there, to the Georgia Southern 41-yard line. I formation.
All right, their tight end is on the right side, Walt Fry, 83. Motion man counts on the left, Keith Thornton, number 1. The I formation behind Eric Williams. He rolls to his left, may want to turn the corner, stops, looking to throw it short. It's dropped. It's dropped as he tried to come back to split end, number 17, Dwayne Hayes. And the ball may have been dropped or actually punched from behind. We had pretty good coverage on the play.
And let's remember now that Dwayne Hayes, who is a split end, lines up in this offense as if he were a tight end.
He's 6'6".
And he is 6'6". He's quite a target. He's the guy that made the jumping catch earlier that kept a drive going for him. And this time he comes from the backside of the formation. Quarterback had plenty of time to throw. He just didn't get it in there to him.
2nd down and 20. Motion to the right side of the field with 25, Mike Reagan. Receivers out that way. Eric Williams back to throw it over the middle. He's got a man there at the Eagle 23, 2-1. Breaking away, the big guy again, Dwayne Hayes. And he's got a 1st down, James Madison, all the way down to the Georgia Southern 21-yard line. Boy, he was wide open.
That time they just got in a twin set. He went straight up the field about 20 yards and ran and did a curl, just hooked up. The quarterback sprinted out. They had plenty of time to throw real good protection on the corner. The way they do that is have an extra back over there, and he turns back to the inside to pick up any rusher. Quarterback had plenty of time, rifled it in there for a 1st down to the 17-yard line.
James Madison knocking on the door already, leading 7-3. They're lined up in an I formation, a wide out to the right side of the field. Williams rolling out to his left, may turn that corner. Here he goes to the 13. He dives down and takes a lick as he goes to the 12, as we had Taz Dixon holding on there to make sure he didn't go any further.
Well, you have to visualize this. I formation. Willie Lanier is the fullback, 6'2", 245 pounds. He comes around the corner as a blocker. He knocks down a linebacker or anybody that's pursuing from inside out. The quarterback then made the keep, and, of course, he picked up good yardage at 2nd down and 6.
We got big trouble here in Harrisonburg. From the eye, they pop the middle, big hole, touchdown, easy run as Lanier scores. Boy, did he have a hole to run through, and is this guy big and tough as he blows through Georgia Southern for an easy 13-yard touchdown run.
Boy, you don't expect to see that now. He did not get touched. There's a hole in there big enough for that guy who's 245 to run through. He looked that time like he was shot out of a cannon. Nobody touched him till he'd already crossed the goal line. And Georgia Southern is suddenly down 13-3.
Most points we've given up in the first quarter this year. 2 touchdowns. Extra point try coming up. It's up and it is good, 14-3. James Madison leads with 3:12 to go in the first quarter. We'll be back in 60 seconds after local words on this, the Georgia Southern Sports Network. We're back with you here in Harrisonburg, Virginia. James Madison leading it by a score of 14-3. And I think when we had talked with Coach Przicki earlier in the week locally on Statesboro, he said it's a game of real estate. And boy, he wasn't kidding. When you only have 40 yards to go for a drive, it makes it just a world of difference. And right now, they've run back a kickoff and set themselves up, and we've given them a fumble.
Yeah, he had 33 yards to go the first time and 40-something the second time. And what they've done, they've mixed the pass and the run together very well. And obviously they're ready to play. And Georgia Southern, I would have never thought that this would be a scoring contest, and that looks like what it's going to be.
High short kick to the far side. Karl Miller at the 20, 25, coming up to the 30-yard line, and he scoots out across the 30 to about the 32-yard line. That ball was not kicked deep, but it was kicked high, and they had pretty good coverage.
You know, they're kicking into the wind, and obviously that knocks it down, but the high kick like that makes a floater out of it. Georgia Southern does have, though, excellent field position at the 32. The ball's on the left hash, and they're behind 14-3 with 3:04 left in this quarter.
The Eagles have been allowing only 4.3 points all season long in the first quarter. Toss out to Joe Ross, comes upfield, goes across the 40, and he's up to the 42-yard line for a pickup of almost 9, close to 10 yards. He'll take a long look across the far sideline. He may be close to a first down. Where they spotted, he may have it.
He's got it.
Yep, got a first down.
That time they ran that counter option, and by the way, Ross took a pretty heavy lick that time, and it looked to me to be a little late. They have obviously elected not to let him have the football. They're going to try to go after him a little bit.
Donnie Allen left side. Terrance Sorrell right side will go straight ahead with Joe Ross again. He'll bang across the 45-yard line. Up the middle he goes to the 47-yard line. Matt Guglielma, number 97, rides him down there, but he gets a gain of almost 5.
Good first down play of the fullback off the option. The defense is a 50 defense, 5 down linemen, 2 linebackers playing very loose. And then when the play goes away, they sort of shuffle one outside linebacker off the line.
Second down at about 5.5. Fake inside. Gross still has it. Raymond stops in big traffic. Gets away from one. Here he cuts back to the 50, 45. Needs a block. Goes to the 35. And he'll go down at the, make that 34-yard line. Boy, oh boy, Mark Kiefer was the last man there, and he had to stop and wait for Gross to come his way. And Gross did the smart thing and went down at the 33-yard line of James Madison.
That's a magnificent 13-yard run off of a busted play. They run the option to the left. There's nowhere to go. The quarterback has kept it way out on the corner. All of a sudden, he comes back. Almost looked like that quarterback draw we saw them run. Quarterback runs back against the grain, picks up 13 big yards, first down at the 33. That's Mr. Gross.
Eagles put motion to the right side, Ernest Thompson. Raymond hands it off inside to Joe Ross, who just lost his footing and goes down for a loss all the way back outside to the 39-yard line. I don't know what happened there. He just stumbled and lost his footing.
That'll happen sometimes on AstroTurf or artificial turf. What they did was put motion and then ran what would look to me like to be a counter play to Ross. But Ross never really got his footing and gave up pretty big yardage. He actually lost nearly 5 yards.
Second down and 15. We're under a minute to go in the first quarter. Eagles trailing 14-3 as James Madison has stunned us here in the opening quarter. Going to try Joe Ross again, and he gets popped at the line and goes for just a couple. They wouldn't let go that time. Boy, big 99. Paul Fornadell, 6 feet tall, 260 senior.
Cordell, the nose guard, is supposed to be one of their outstanding defensive players. He made the tackle that time, and now we have third down and 3. The ball's on the right hash mark at about the 36. In the situations like this so far in the game, Georgia Southern has sprinted on the corner, in every case throwing fairly deep.
Well, Donnie Allen and Sorrell, both left side of the field. Karl Miller's going that way, too. Now he goes back to the right side and sets himself, goes back to the left. Gross spins one way, going to pitch it late. Joe Ross on the sideline slips and lost his footing again and goes down to the 37-yard line. And Georgia Southern, as the clock is stopped apparently here for him going out of bounds, has a decision to make. Do you try a real long field goal here? It would be about a 54-yard effort if you try to kick it. And Coach Russell's trying to make that decision. David Kulo is walking away on the sideline. And timeout is called by Georgia Southern. 5 seconds to go here in the first quarter. 14-3, James Madison leading. We'll be back after 60 seconds of local words on the Georgia Southern Sports Network. They'll try the long field goal. Need a 54-yard effort. Here's the kick, up, and it is good. He just got it over inside the right upright. David Kuhl kicked a 60-yarder here last year. He has just kicked a 54-yard field goal, and that's how the first quarter comes to an end. With your score, James Madison 14, Georgia Southern 6. That's the quiver as he bounces it around. It is loose. It's still loose. And they'll dive on the ball back at the 27. James Madison recovers. Let me get in with Hugh here for our first quarter stats in this football game with James Madison up 14-6.
Okay, Nate, the Eagles with 6 first downs, 78 yards rushing, 2 of 4 passing, 29 yards. James Madison 5 first downs, 59 yards passing, rushing, and 2 of 3 passing for 48 yards. Total offense 123 yards for them.
All right. 14-6. The Eagles trail it. First down call. Go to the tail. He gets hit at the 30 as he pops upfield. We've tried a gang tackle there. Some pretty good pursuit that time as they'll bang it up with Greg Medley, number 35, the 5'10 senior. Boy, they're playing Lanier and Medley at times together now.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what at least that's what I had understood they were going to do before the game by reading newspapers mainly. They finally come up with two strong running backs, and he's going to have them both in there. That time, I formation off tackle for 2 yards, second and about 8.
Line of scrimmage there, 30. Williams still has the football. He comes around the corner, has an opening, 35, still going, and he's close to the first down. He's near the Georgia Southern 38-yard line. Well, they did a great job of blocking Giff Smith on the line of scrimmage as he was about to come over and make the tackle, and that's where the tight end comes in mighty handy with his blocking.
Taz Dixon came up and made a good tackle, open field tackle on the quarterback who can really run. It's hard to picture this guy. He's very small, 150 pounds, about 5'10", they say. Looks more to me like he's 5'8", but he is very quick. They ran the option out of the eye, and he made a big play.
First down it is from their 38-yard line, and Williams gives it straight ahead. And Lanier's carrying people. He carries Michael Berry all the way across midfield in Georgia Southern territory. Willie Lanier is really strong out there.
Well, I'll tell you what. Dixon hit him at the 40-yard line, and he was carried to the far 49. They have crossed the 50 into Georgia Southern territory. Ball's directly in the middle of the field. It'll be first down. Boy, did he just bust up there and run.
They are moving the ball on Georgia Southern to the Eagle 48-yard line. Again in the middle, Lanier. First down and more as he's down to the 32-yard line. And you can be sure that James Madison people are saying, where has this guy been?
That's a counter trap. This time he takes a step to the right, goes back to the left. They trap out defensive left side, and he is off and running and ran over the safety man and had to get help, and he makes another first down to the 32. I mean, he just ran over our number 22. Taz Dixon met him head up, and he knocked him backwards.
First down at the Eagle 32-yard line. Boy, oh boy, explosive running here from Lanier. They run the option now with Williams turning the corner, 25. He's still going to the 20-yard line. He's got another James Madison first down before Maxwell and Dixon and Oglesby and Berry are able to contain him. But we are giving up tremendous yardage here.
Boy, that's 3 first downs in a row. And on 2 on options with the quarterback keeping and 1 with the fullback running a counter trap. And now they are inside of the 20 to the 19 on the right hash. Georgia Southern is playing essentially a 5-man defensive front.
Lanier and Medley in the I formation. They give it to Lanier, and he powers inside the 15. He's down to the 14. They're getting a pretty good offensive charge in their line of scrimmage, but this guy is just so hard to bring down.
He gets almost 5 yards that time. He's not very fast getting started. He takes sort of a little false step to the right, and then just sort of builds it up there, and that time got 5 on his own, and Georgia Southern calls timeout.
So it's timeout Eagles with 12:18 to go in the half, 14-6. James Madison's leading, and we'll break 60 seconds for network messages on this, the Georgia Southerns.
You really need to save your timeouts, but this time they had to regroup because it's second down. The ball is inside of the 15.
They are blowing us off the line of scrimmage this drive. Second down at about 6 from the 15-yard line. Motion left side of the field. They'll pop the middle again. Lanier, touchdown. Look out. He walked through. Boy, oh boy, did they open a hole to the line of scrimmage. And Willie Lanier just ran right through it. And for the second time, nobody even touched him. 15-yard run.
Boy, that's exactly what they did a few minutes ago, except from a different set. He's a one-back set. They ran a trap up the middle. Nobody touched it. He ran straight to the goal line and all the way through and out of the end zone and started taking high fives from the fans up in there. What a run.
Extra point try is up, and the kick is good. It's 21-6. James Madison leads with 12:12 to go in the half. We'll break 60 seconds for local words on this, the Georgia Southern Sports Network. Years. It's 21-6 with 12:12 to go in the first half, and it has really been all James Madison.
It has, and on all 3 of those touchdowns, nobody touched the guy who scored. The quarterback ran a quarterback draw for a touchdown. The fullback ran a quick trap for a touchdown, and now he runs a delay trap up the middle. Nobody touched him, and in every case, they ran from 10 to 20 yards out.
All right, again, the
1 point.
Kickoff team runs up, and then they spread out. I guess that's to set up a possible onside kick, but not today when you're leading like this. And here's the kickoff. With the wind, he booms it deep. Karl Miller goes back in the end zone. He'll down it right there. Smart move now because he was backing up as he caught that ball.
He misjudged a little bit. What you want to do in receiving a kickoff is always be sure that you're coming up to the football. I think the wind fooled him a little bit, and he made a little initial move forward and then had to back up as he caught it. So he couldn't run it out. Ordinarily, you'd run it out from where he was, about 2 yards in the end zone. Georgia Southern has it at their own 20, and they very much need to get in the football game offensively.
21-6, James Madison leading. Gross spinning one way now, coming around the left corner, going to toss it late to Karl Miller. Steps over one, and he gets 5 tough yards. They punish him as he gets hit upfield. We'll take 5-6 yards.
Absolutely great play. They ran the option counter back this way. They put motion as if they're going to the right and then come back to the left. The quarterback made the pitch after he'd picked up maybe 2 or 3 yards. They get 6 out of it. It'll be 2nd down and 4. I tell you what Georgia Southern really has to do is play their own game and not get too panicky about this. They've got to do something, and it was a good start on that first down.
Gross runs the quarterback to the right. Going to toss it late. Joe Ross needs a block. Has a first down as he comes across the 30 out near the 33-yard line. And again, what you really would like to do if you're Georgia Southern, well, you want to score as quickly as you possibly can. It wouldn't hurt at all to get a sustained drive here to take some of the wind out of James Madison because they are pumped right now.
They're absolutely in control. There's no question about it. But now Georgia Southern has made a first down, moved the ball out to the 33.5-yard line.
That last drive that they had, James Madison, Hugh, how many plays do you recall did it take them to score that touchdown? Wasn't many plays.
About 7 plays.
Only 7 as Joe Ross goes up over the top for just a short gain of maybe 2 on the play.
Quick trap to Ross up the middle. He only picked up 2, but you need to do that to kind of make people stay at home. The pursuit so far for James Madison has been excellent. And what the backs have had to do is run in the seams in between the wide out, that is the wide defender, and either a linebacker or a safety. It's 2nd down and 8.
Donnie Allen left side, Sorrell right side. On 2nd down, Gross spinning to the short side of the field, still has it. He gets hit at the line, and he'll go down. And people would wonder, I'm sure, as to why we're doing so much of our running to our short side of the field and not taking a chance perhaps on coming to the opposite side of the field.
Well, the reason they do it is they're in a 50 defense, and they put their strong safety to the wide side of the field. They also overshift the lineman a half a man, and so they almost force you to go back to the short side. And it's pretty obvious right now that this team has elected to let Raymond Gross be the runner today. They're going to try to take the fullback and the pitch away, and they've been successful so far. 3rd down possession play. Gross pulling out to his left to throw. Gets hit as he throws. It's caught. Donnie Allen at midfield has a first down. Georgia Southern, he got thrown into the James Madison bench, and he popped right out of there at midfield. He's got an Eagle first down. That's just perfect, and that's 2 strikes that he's thrown on that out cut. He sprints to the left, has maximum protection. They only a couple of receivers out. Is a deep down and out. The quarterback, again, as I mentioned, I think last time he tried and completed that pass, took a heavy lick after he threw the ball. It's first down at the 50, just past the 50. 10 minutes to go in the half. 21-6, James Madison give inside. Joe Ross has 5, 6, 7, and he carries people inside of the James Madison 42-yard line. Excellent run that time. Now, Ross that time looked like to me that he made a good veer cut to the outside. He started off right guard, ended up going well outside of right tackle. Picked up about 7, almost 8 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 2. The ball's in the middle of the field at the 42. Georgia Southern is running the option game and the sprint out pass. Donnie Allen left side of the field as Gross comes up with a 2nd down and about 2. Motion to the right side. They'll toss it wide. Ernest Thompson by himself gets a block down the sideline 30, and he comes upfield inside the 25. They'll say nope. He stepped out of bounds up at the 30-yard line of James Madison, but it is enough for another Georgia Southern first down. Thompson really fought the sideline trying to stay in bounds. He looked like for a second he might go all the way. Gross again made an awful good play. A very late pitch of the football. Got to have a penalty coming up here. Sure is. Boy, that's tough. Now, that is a big penalty right there. They were penalized from the Georgia Southern 38-yard line all the way back to the 47-yard line. It will be a repeat of the down, second down, so really the play is about where it started. It's about back to where it was after a great option pitch by the quarterback. I tell you, they've already made too many mistakes, and a mistake like that can really cost you. Instead of a first down, it's 2nd and 8.
Second down and a long 8. Gross spinning to his left. Wants to pitch it late to Joe Ross. He gets hit and loses yardage. Back on the Georgia Southern side of the field, way back at the 47-yard line. The strong safety, Richard Grievous, came up and makes the stop.
Boy, you really have to credit Grievous that time with an excellent decision. He got under real strain as far as containment concerned. He took that fake like a basketball player would take a fake and then made an excellent open field tackle. It's third down now and 13 yards to go. The ball is now back into Georgia Southern territory at the 47.
Another big possession play here for the Eagles. They've gone to Donnie Allen twice before in spots like this. Gross is pulling to his right. They're looking for Sorrell. He wants to go deep for him. He heaves it high down the sideline. Sorrell is there, and he makes the catch inbounds at the 8-yard line. It's goal to go, Eagles. That ball hung up there forever.
Boy, it really did, and he threw the ball from his 40 all the way to the far 8-yard line. That's about a 50, whatever that is, 52-yard pass, and a great throw, even though it did look like a punt. Sorrell is the guy you have to really pat on the back. That is so hard to catch something like that.
Now they're overruling and saying he did not catch it inbounds. They're going to bring it back to the line of scrimmage. Is this right?
Boy, I've never seen this before. I'm sure it's right because they just did it. But that looked to me like to be a great catch over there on the sideline, and I don't know who would overrule it. But the Georgia Southern players now have to come in and kick the football instead of having first down at the 8. Georgia Southern's got to punt the football. Boy, I thought he had managed to stay in bounds. It was all the way across the field from us, Nate, so very difficult to read. They look like they have an all-out 10-man rush on here.
Snap back. Here they come to block it. He gets away the kick to the far side. It's going to hop down and go out of bounds right at about the 20-yard line. That stops the clock with 8 minutes and 20 seconds to go here in the first half. James Madison, 21. Georgia Southern, 6. We'll be back after a 60-second local break on this, the Georgia Southern. We checked with our coaches who are right next to us. They said the official from the middle of the field came back and said, nope, he was out of bounds. From their 20-yard line, first down and 10 for the Dukes at James Madison. In an I formation, they run the tailback. Medley, big hole, 30, 35, 40. He breaks away, and Randell Boone can't push him down till he gets to the Georgia Southern 47-yard line, but there's a penalty flag back inside the 20-yard line of James Madison, and hopefully this one is coming back.
What a break. The back went in motion and turned up the field too soon, and so he was illegally in motion way before the snap almost, and so that's what's going to bring it back. I think I read the play as it came off, but what is so big about all of this, Nate, is that Georgia Southern had a first down at the 8 with 2 officials that marked where the ball was caught. I have never seen a play called off by somebody in the middle of the field, and that's what happened, and Georgia Southern had to kick it. They get the ball at the 20, break it that time for about a 40-yard run. I'll tell you, this Georgia Southern is in serious trouble today. They got to break that time. It'll be 1st and 15 after motion penalty.
You almost get the feeling now to get back in this football game, and they're not out of the game, certainly, that we'll need to get a turnover ourselves here and make something happen on defense, perhaps.
Boy, they've got to do something defensively.
They are running the football at us. 1st and 15 from their 15-yard line. Eric Williams at quarterback. Goes inside. This time will pop him. Not too much room finally.
Again, the difference in what they're facing out there is 2 tight ends. They have a 7-man front offensively. That's unusual in today's time. They line up in an I formation with a wide flanker and 2 tight ends most of the time. Then they do go to the double slot, or the double wing. But what they've done so far is hurt Georgia Southern inside with a trap.
Willie Lanier that time, his shortest gain, I think, of the day. Only 2. It's 2nd down and 13 at their 17-yard line. 1 wide man left side of the field. Everybody else in close. Williams coming up the field. Going to get hit and go down. Lost a yard back at the 16. And that's what we've got to do, is somehow get containment on him where he does not get that chance to go outside.
Well, Georgia Southern normally does a good job playing the option in that they stalk the option guy so that they don't exactly attack him. They make the play get delayed, and that's what they did that time. They spread the pursuit out, they slowed the option decision down, and he got caught from behind. It'll be 3rd down and about 14.
3rd down call. Let's see if they put it up in the air. Receiver to the right side of the field. They keep it on the ground. Lanier gets hit. Michael Berry makes that Steve Bussoletti makes the stop from behind before he's about to break away. He did get forward progress to the 25, but it stops them shy of a 1st down. They've got to kick it finally.
Boy, he's 250, and he makes a break back to his left and picked up 7 yards on that play. If he breaks that tackle, he's still running. Georgia Southern now looks like they're going to have an all-out rush at the kicker. 10-man rush. Here they come.
Here comes the snap back, and he gets the kick away. Oglesby will catch this line drive at his 34. Gets one block, goes down at the 42-yard line, and that's where he gets stopped. 6 minutes and 23 seconds remaining in the first half, 21-6. James Madison leads. We're going to break 60 seconds for local words on this, the Georgia Southern Sports Network.
Brody Mudd is putting for 40. And
1st down, they'll give it to Joe Ross. He gets hit at the line as he bangs forward. Boy, they came blowing through that time. Antonio Cuppett, number 34, the inside linebacker, took a gamble. He threw his body in the air there to try to stun Ross, and he hits him, and he goes down for about a 3-yard gain at the 44-yard line.
Just a straight option that time. The handoff to the fullback picked up 3, 2nd and 7. The ball is just short of the 45-yard line. Georgia Southern's 45.
21-6. James Madison is leading. We're just under 6 minutes to go in the first half. Donnie Allen left side. Sorrell to the right side. Karl Miller in motion. Gross still has it. Going to toss it wide to Karl Miller. Breaks a tackle. 40, 35, 30. Down the sideline. He gets pushed out of bounds at the 20-yard line. Boy, did they take Joe Ross out on that play, and he didn't have the football.
That time they had an end shuffled off, so they looked like a 4-man line. While he was checking at the line of scrimmage, they brought the end back on the line. On the snap of the football, he went after Joe Ross and really met him. The quarterback did a great job. Karl Miller is having his best day as far as I'm concerned. That is quite a run he just made to hit the seam and then fight the sideline and move the ball to the 20. What a run. 1st down to 20. That's what Georgia Southern needed. They need a play like that.
Whitehead comes in, number 21. Sorrell is out. Hopkins in the ball game also. Gross rolling around to his right, going to turn the corner, stops the 20, goes upfield, and down he goes at about the 16. But he just got about 4 or 5 more yards, running a long way that time as he ran back to his right. He's in all kind of motion to the right side of the field as Darryl Hopkins, number 25, just checked in as we put some fresh people in the ball game.
That's a good 5-yard run, and that's something I believe Georgia Southern has got to do more of. They sprint on the corner, and every time that he's done it so far, he could have run it. You know, he had the long pass a minute ago they ruled out of bounds, but he's got some room to run those 5- and 6-yard runs, which would really help.
2nd down call. Going to keep it inside. Joe Ross fighting upfield, still going inside the 10-yard line. He's got Georgia Southern with a 1st down and goal to go. I think we put in another blocker. We've got that other tight end on the line of scrimmage now for a 2 tight end set almost, or actually our 1 tight end. We don't have one before.
That's exactly right. 3 down linemen at any rate on the right side, which gives you an extra blocker. And Ross then made the best run he's made of the day in that he broke a tackle and stayed alive and moved the ball inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. The ball's on the right hash. It's back down there where it was when they ruled that pass out.
1st down and goal to go. Going to try Joe again? Nope. Went inside instead, and let's see what happened here.
The quarterback then faked to Joe, came back to the inside, and maybe picked up a yard. Not any more than that. They'll barely move up a little bit. It looked like, as you made the call, had they handed it to Ross, there was some running room there. So it'll be 2nd down at about the 8.5-yard line, ball on the right hash.
Clock is moving, 4 minutes and 15 seconds to go in the half. We're trailing 21-6. The Eagles going to the noisy side of the field where the JMU band is. Gross checking off at the line. Runs to the left side, going to toss it wide. Joe Ross gets hit behind. He breaks a tackle. 3-2-1, touchdown. Joe Ross gets that block on the outside corner. Ernest Thompson helps spring him, and he lunges in for a big touchdown.
Boy, that's a big change-up. Now, you wondered a little while ago why they don't go the wide side of the field. That time there was a check-off at the line to go to the wide side. They countered then as if they were going into the short side, came back, made a quick pitch to Ross. That's where you see Ross's speed. It didn't look to me like he had a chance to score, and he really turned it on, and Georgia Southern now has elected to go for 2. When they do that, they move the ball slightly to the right of center field. Instead of having it in the middle of the field, it's to the right, about 5 yards, and they're coming out in their regular set with three tight linemen on the right side.
Going for 2. The JMU band stands up and hollers as Raymond tries to be heard here. Going for 2 points. Spinning to his left. May want to cut it. Tossed it back to Joe Ross. He is stopped as James Madison stayed home and took the pitch man, Joe Ross, and stopped the play. Was it touched by a James Madison player? It goes out of bounds. It was touched by a James Madison player, and it goes out of bounds at the 24-yard line. One of their up linemen touched it first.
He did, and I think that's a good break for Georgia Southern. Otherwise, they'd have to kick it again. It gives him field position at the 24, but no chance of a return, and returns have been devastating to Georgia Southern in the last 2 weeks. Georgia Southern that time went for 2. There was a checkoff at the line, an awful lot of noise because they were right in front of that huge band down there, and I don't believe they got the checkoff verbally very well. They couldn't hear.
Motion coming to the right side as Williams brings him up with one back behind him. They'll trap inside with Medley, and he bangs across the 25. He's near the 30-yard line this time as he pops out of there in a hurry. Now it's so important with 3:45 of the clock running here in the first half. The Eagles have scored a touchdown to make it 21-12 to try to hold on here and not give up anymore before the half.
And they just put Willie Lanier in, the big horse, who's 6'2", 245. It's second down and about 4. The ball's in the middle of the field at the 29.
They have all 3 timeouts remaining. Williams keeping it inside. They go back behind the line and get back for maybe a couple to the 33-yard line. Little misdirection play that time as they almost came back with Mike Campbell, the flanker, that time.
Now that's the wing T set that they talk about. They have 2 backs that are lined up parallel to each other. Not an I formation, but really what you'd call a pro set. And the quarterback then reverses the opposite way, which gives a good draw like he's going to run a bootleg, and they ran off tackle to the right. 3rd down 1.
3rd down and short. Lanier is out. Medley is in. Williams probably going to give it to him. He stumbled and he fell down and lost the football almost. He hangs on to it, but the Eagles have stopped him as he pulled out. I think he stepped on his center's foot, and we get a tremendous break as they'll have to kick it right now.
It really does. It gives Georgia Southern a chance. I really think that they had a reverse on that time, and there was a little misdirection mix-up as well as him slipping down. A big break for Georgia Southern. They're going to kick it from the 15, 14-yard line.
Eagles with a 10-man rush. Oglesby back at his 34. High snap. Here comes the rush. He just got it off. How did we miss that one? Oglesby fielding it at the 27. Stops to the 30. He circles back to his left, lost his footing, and he'll go down at the 33-yard line. How did we miss not blocking that one?
Boy, I tell you what, we came so close to being able to block it. I believe that it was Mark Giles that almost got it. He just overshot, got a little too close to the kicker. It looks to me like now that several times Georgia Southern backs have slipped down. The safety man that time really slipped a couple of times, caught himself, and was able to get the ball out to the 33. There's 2:09 left, Nate, in this quarter.
Trying to get close for 3 before the half. The give inside to Joe Ross. He gets hit at the line. He goes down. And we don't have any timeouts, I don't think, left. We've used all our timeouts, haven't we? I know we called the 2 before. We may have 1 left. So we've got to hurry up here now. The timeouts are really going to become a factor. 1:55 and the clock is moving. And you've got to get about 30 yards downfield at least, because the wind's blowing in your face to try to kick a long field goal. It's 2nd down and 8. Raymond Gross is back to throw. Stops. Looking. Gets hit as he throws. It's dropped. He had it to Donnie Allen at the 48-yard line, and Donnie dropped it.
Boy, you just never see Donnie Allen do that. He had the ball out at the 48-yard line, which would have been an easy first down. Had the ball for a second on just a hook pattern, and the ball got away from him. Part of that might be the weather, the wind, whatever. But, boy, what a time not to catch it. It'll be 3rd down now and about 7.
Big play for the Eagles. We don't make it here. We've got to kick it back into the wind. Thompson flanked to the right side along with Sorrell. Donnie Allen left side. Raymond running the option play, going to come upfield. Keeps it himself. He's fighting for the first down and more. 50-yard line. He gets pushed out of bounds at the 48-yard line of James Madison. You know, he goes through some of the smallest holes, and that time he saw his opening on the left side and banged on through.
That's an absolutely great option key play, and in my opinion, absolutely should have been a flag. He was tackled about 3 yards out of bounds. Official right on top of it, but no call. I don't like to second guess. There's not any question in my mind that that's a 15-yarder that we didn't get, that Georgia Southern did not get. But it is a first down at the 48 on the left hash mark. They're down to 132. A triple receiver set to the right.
Gross is straight back to throw. Looking deep over the middle. Got Darryl Hopkins for a first down, 20, 15. He's down to the 12-yard line of James Madison. Hit him on the run, and we'll get a timeout. Georgia Southern will use our final timeout here with 1:22 to go in the half. 21-12, James Madison leading. We'll break 60 seconds for local words on the Georgia Southern Sports Network. We're back with you in Harrisonburg, Virginia. What a wild first half this has been, and it appeared Georgia Southern was about to get knocked out here this ball game, but they have come back here in the last half of the second quarter with life. It's 21-12, and they are 12 yards away from really making this a tight game.
They had trips that time to the right. The quarterback came out to the right, hit a receiver going to a wing back going straight up the field, and he made a great catch and a good run.
But we've used our final timeout, so you got to be careful with the running plays. Gross tosses it wide to Joe Ross, cutting upfield to 10. Joe to the 5, still carrying people, and he's inside the 5. He may have goal to go Eagles. It may be a first down, and if it is, that should stop the clock.
And they still haven't stopped the clock, and he made a first down about 5 minutes ago, and now the clock is stopped at 1:08. What a great run on the option, the counter option back to the right. Good run by the fullback.
Line of scrimmage, the 2-yard line. As Gross sets him up in a hurry now. Straight ahead, Joe over the top. Touchdown, Georgia Southern. The Eagles have scored in a hurry with 1:01 to go in the first half. They didn't waste any time as Joe Ross took a tip from E.T., and he went sky high over the top for a 2-yard touchdown. And now it is 21-18.
That's a great combination of plays. Out of trips right, the quarterback sprinted out, pulled up through the Hopkins straight down the field, made a great catch. They took time out, came back, ran the option pitch to Ross. Ross really made a great run out of it to the outside. And then with a quick huddle and up on the line of scrimmage, he dove over. That's a great touchdown, and there's still a minute and 1 second left. We didn't think they had enough time to do anything.
And they were deciding whether to go for 2 or not, and now they decide to put the kicking team on, which I think is the right move to get within 2 here. Extra point is up, and the extra point is good. It is 21-19. James Madison's lead is 2. We'll break 60 seconds for local words on the Georgia Southern Sports Network. Downfield again. This one, they just dive on it to make sure. Not going to let this one get away this time. Boy, oh boy, they just fell on this one in a hurry.
Boy, the unfortunate thing about that is it gives them great field position. It's a squib kick again, but the left end that time fielded the ball. They get it at the 34. There's a full minute to go, and I think that they have either all or at least 2 of their timeouts left. All of them here?
Yes, they have all timeouts remaining.
That's a lot of time now. Georgia Southern scored too quick, if you can say that.
Well, let's see. Maybe they'll throw one and we'll pick it off. Let's see how they go here with an I formation, 1 wide out right side of the field. They'll put motion now to the left side. Do they run it or throw it? That's the decision here. And they're going to run the ball up the middle, and it goes for 2, 3, 4, medley to the middle of the field. And now they will use one of their timeouts right now with 53 seconds to go in the first half. It is 21-19 in favor of James Madison, as the Dukes will take one of their timeouts. They have 2 remaining, and an interesting decision there. I guess they thought they could trap us for a bigger play than that. One would have thought they might have gone to the airwaves.
I formation that time, lead play really off right tackle and picked up about 4 yards. Now, what something like that can do is set up a good play-action pass. The thing that they have gotten the big plays out of has been the trap to the fullback and the option keep by the quarterback. And that's what I would expect to see, is the option with the quarterback coming on the corner and maybe then the throw. But what has happened now, they're down to 53 seconds. They have 2 timeouts left. The ball is at the 37-yard line in the middle of the field.
Don't forget Georgia Southern basketball exhibition game coming up on Thursday night at Hatter Fieldhouse at 7:30 as they'll play the TT Bamberg team from West Germany. That'll be their first exhibition game on November the 9th. And they'll also have an exhibition game against the Florida Stars on Thursday, November the 16th. And Wall Sports in Statesboro is sponsoring both those games with 3 giveaways for the first 100 or so folks who come on out. So Thursday night, 7:30, there's basketball at Hatter Fieldhouse. Here it's second down and about 7 from the 37. Keeping it. Williams going back to throw. Wants to go deep down the middle. Yes, the ball's way overthrown. We had great coverage that time as Whitley was back there, man for man with Keith Thornton, and the ball was way overthrown.
Boy, what a great call, though. They came down and ran the quarterback option, faked it all the way out to the corner. Then when he would normally make the pitch, he dropped back to throw. Georgia Southern runs the same pass. That time, outstanding coverage, as you called it, man, foot for foot all the way down the field, and the ball was overthrown. But what a good call and what a good defense.
Our third down with 45 seconds to go. Hey, if we could hold them here, we might get the ball back again. Williams keeping it himself, trying to turn the corner, steps upfield, has a first down as he spins up to the 47-yard line. That'll stop the clock. They want to get a timeout here very quickly also.
He does exactly for them what Raymond Gross does for Georgia Southern. Erk Williams is quite a quarterback, folks. He's 5'10", it says, looks like 5'8", 150, looks like 135. He runs the option, makes great decisions. That time he ran the option to the left, made a fake of the handoff, a fake of the pitch, and kept it upfield for what amounted to an excellent gain. It'll be now first down. He makes it, and the ball is at the 47-yard line. We're down to 38 seconds.
Well, James Madison is playing like a team today with their whole season on the line because it is a win today, and they know they're in the playoff picture. A loss today, and they are out of the playoff picture. And what they've done here is now for the fourth straight ball game with this change at quarterback. They had an open date 4 weeks ago, and it has turned their whole season around as they decided to switch the offense and also use the youngster at quarterback.
And, of course, they've gotten that extra big fullback in there because one guy got hurt and he had a chance to play. And for the first time in his career, they say that Willie Lanier became a player. And now they've got two strong runners on the field plus the quarterback.
They've used two of their timeouts. We'll expect the throw. Let's watch what Williams does with one back, three receivers right side of the field. Wanting to run an option himself. He gets hit at the line. Great play right in the middle there. Mike West would not be denied. He stayed home and knocks him down for maybe a yard loss on the play. And James Madison will use their final timeout. Make third down play, make it second down play. Back to throw. Williams, he wants to go deep. He throws it way out there. Oglesby's there, and he will tip it, and it's incomplete. He tried to intercept it, and actually the receiver played defender that time and knocked the ball away from Rodney Oglesby as he was trying to pick it off.
And Taz Dixon are in perfect position that time. The quarterback dropped back to throw and threw about a 50-yard pass down the right sideline. Ball's in the air a long time, sort of looked like a punt. But I thought that he played it as good as you can play it. Had the ball been thrown a little better, I think it would have been an interception. But he had to wait a little while for it, and they kind of bounced it around, and it goes for naught. And now it will be third down, and there are 22 seconds to go. What a big play.
Third down and 10. The big receiver, Dwayne Hayes, the 6'6" guy to the right side. They also bring Mike Reagan to the right side. So the receivers to the right side of the field. Motion to the left side, back to throw. Chase is on. He'll zip it deep down the right sideline for the big guy. And it is intercepted by Kevin Whitley at the 10-yard line as he went back and pulled it away with 15 seconds to go in the first half. Georgia Southern is trying to turn this thing around right before halftime.
Boy, I'll tell you what, that's a heck of a matchup. They put a 6'6" receiver on Whitley, who is, 5'10" at best.
At best.
And they ran an option play to the left, faked as if they were going to run. The big receiver just took off down the field. Whitley covered him like a glove and made the interception. One of his better plays. I tell you, I'm a Whitley man, as you know. He has played awful well for Georgia Southern. And they stopped this thing with 15 seconds. Georgia Southern now has the ball at their own 9-yard line, 21-19.
Right now, Raymond Gross will put his knee down and fall on the football. And Georgia Southern will be happy to get out of here at halftime without things any worse than they are. They have really made a resurgence here. And now it's actually halftime. Everybody runs off the field here still with
a little time on the clock.
A little time on the clock. But the Eagles, and I notice Coach Erk Russell still on the sideline, talking with a couple of his coaches that have just come down from upstairs here. They'll have some things to discuss certainly at halftime, but when things look so bleak at 21-6, we've come back a long way, 21-19, not just offensively, but defensively, and really might be ahead in the ball game if not for that pass play being taken away.
Well, it shows a little something, too, that if Georgia Southern is even or nearly even or ahead, this team is probably not the kind of team that's going to be able to hurt you very much throwing the football. Where they really hurt you throwing the football, as they did last week against Navy, is not throw it but twice in a whole half against Navy in the second half, because they run the ball so well. And then when they had to throw, Georgia Southern comes up with interception. And what a magnificent comeback from a strange play where Georgia Southern thought they had it first down on the 8 and gave it up and had to kick it, and then made the great drive of running and catching and throwing and making those points down there to get
for the game. And time of possession, Georgia Southern holding a 1-minute edge. But Georgia Southern trailing now by 2 points as we get ready for the third quarter.
Well, the two statistics that jump out at you are the rushing yards for James Madison, 165. Georgia Southern has only given up an average of 95 yards a game. And total offense for James Madison, 205 yards, when Georgia Southern has only given up an average of 225 yards a game. Okay, this third quarter, let's look ahead. And what has traditionally been a big quarter for Georgia Southern. They have not given up a touchdown, haven't given up a point all year in the third quarter. The reason, some say it's because Erk Russell makes such good adjustments defensively at halftime. But it's not just defense. They have scored 76 points this year in the third quarter alone. Now, their defense has given up all year, 68 points. So it gives you an idea of what Georgia Southern accomplishes when they go in, meet with their coaches, make some adjustments, and come out in the second half.
And James Madison will have that challenge against Georgia Southern's strong defense, a defense nationally ranked in a number of different categories, both rushing yardage, scoring defense, and others. And so certainly it will be interesting in this third quarter to see if Madison has also made the necessary adjustments to do something about the third quarter. And again, Georgia Southern will receive the second half kickoff, and so opportunity of getting a hold of the ball first. Joe Persicki pacing the sideline, his 5th year at James Madison, 29, 22, and 2. Of course, he was the head coach at Delaware State back in the early 80s before coming to Harrisonburg. He has his team at 5-2 and 1 this year, and a win over Georgia Southern would certainly put the Dukes in a good situation for postseason play. Kickoff taken at the 2-yard line. Karl Miller up to the 15, to the 20, behind his blockers, now to the outside to the 29-yard line.
And trotting out on defense for James Madison. Take a look. Number 89, Steve Bates, gingerly trotting out and favoring that right knee. Number 89, Steve Bates, went down in the first quarter with a right knee. There you see him. We were told he would not play the rest of the game, but there he is for the first down of the second half.
We'll be watching his play as well. First down and 10, 30-yard line for the Eagles. Option pitch back to Joe Ross, 35 to the 40-yard line, down at the 42. First down. Darryl Thompson making the tackle. Joe Ross has an Eagle first down.
Right there, first play of the quarter. Raymond Gross goes right at Steve Bates, reads him, makes the pitch, testing that quickness. We'll see how he can move laterally with that knee.
41-yard line, first down 10. The handoff inside to Ross. Maybe a couple of yards this time, and 89 Steve Bates was near the play. Matt Uliana from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, the initial hit. Second down 8 now at the 44-yard line. Just underway in the third quarter. 21-19, James Madison. Pitch again, this time to 24, Karl Miller. He's near midfield, knocked out of bounds at the 49. About 3 yards short of the first. Upton Jackson made the initial hit. Offensive line for Georgia Southern, Wilson, Bernard, Twiggs, Gainey, and Jones. Receivers and backs, Allen, Sorrell, Ross, fullback, Gross at quarterback, Miller, and Thompson.
Sammy Twiggs, the center, is into telecommunication arts, radio and TV. He put together the spots on the basketball team we've been seeing in the game.
for the first down and 5 more yards to the 44. Richard Grievous made the tackle, but Raymond Gross with the first down. By the way, on third down conversions, Georgia Southern is 40%, 44 of 109.
Substitution for Georgia Southern. There we see Albert Huntley coming into the lineup, the sophomore quarterback from Atlanta. Big stand here for the defense with Huntley coming in.
And you see the defensive line. First down and 10, Albert Huntley in at quarterback. Gives up the middle. A couple of yards for Joe Ross, but Albert Huntley out of Atlanta, who last week scored a couple of touchdowns versus Samford. He just has 3 career touchdowns. Rushed actually in those touchdowns, 11 yards and 28-yard touchdown runs for Albert Huntley, but he now in with the injured Raymond Gross on the sideline. Bryant, Thompson, Visman, Smith, Jacobs, and Kiefer in for the secondary of James Madison. Huntley, 45-yard line, goes down at the 42. Richard Bryant making the tackle. Richard Bryant had a fumble recovery in the first quarter, which set up a Madison touchdown and made the tackle this time on the backup quarterback.
Raymond Gross is coming back into the lineup. And there you see Huntley tucking it in, running right at Bryant. He makes a good play fighting off a block to make that tackle. Richard Bryant in there now instead of Steve Bates, who has been brought out of the lineup.
Raymond Gross back in now at quarterback. He was out on the sideline for 2 plays. Third down 10, and Gross will throw, completes it at the 35-yard line. No, incomplete. Intended for Ernest Thompson. Upton Jackson defending, and Thompson had the ground for it and unable to come up with it. So it's 4th down and 10 now. Punting situation for the Eagles. Spiral punt. Anthony Archer has it at the 12-yard line. So James Madison will be in bad field position. Mark Giles that time making the hit. Timeout on the field. 12 minutes to go in the third period.
All right, first down. They've got motion to the left side of the field. They start from their 17-yard line. Williams goes to the deep back. It's Medley. He gets cracked right away. Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage and fought forward for a yard, but that was it, as we had good pressure that time and met the ball carrier almost immediately. Tim Brown, number 94, gives Smith underneath, making the stop.
You know, it's really something. In the I formation, Georgia Southern has really handled what you call the lead play. That's where the fullback just leads the tailback off tackle. What's really hurt them has been the trap plays to the fullback and the quarterback option play out of the I.
We would prefer they stay in this I formation the rest of the day. Shifting linebackers around now on a 2nd down and 9 call from the 18. Rolling to his left, Williams trying to stop and come back up the field. He gets hit behind the line, and down he goes back inside the 15 to the 14-yard line. Great pursuit that time. Underneath the play, Michael Berry will get credit for the tackle.
Now that's what you want to see, I formation option play. Quarterback just goes down the line. Great pursuit. They stalked him out there, made him slow down. The inside pursuit then picked him up and really put him on the ground. It's 3rd down now and a long 13. And the ball is back inside the 15 to about the 13 in the middle of the field.
So it's 3rd down. Let's see if they put it up in the air. They're going to put Keith Thornton to the right side of the field. The I formation, they run it up the middle. Look out, he pops, that's it. Just the 20 to the 21-yard line. Mike West, a big saving tackle on Willie Lanier as they tried to trap us up the middle, but they're way shy of the first down, and now they've got a punt.
They gave it to the big horse, and under that same circumstance, early in the first quarter, he broke about a 15-yarder. That time they tackled him after 8. It'll be 4th down and 6. They'll have to punt it. He's kicking from his own 6.
Inside the 10, here comes the rush on him, and we miss it again. He gets it away. Oglesby catches the line drive at his 42, stopping at the 45, and he'll go down at the 46-yard line.
Boy, that's awful good coverage. There were 5 purple shirts down there all over him. He didn't get but maybe a yard or two on a kick that ended up being how far, Hugh?
37. We got 37 yards on the kick.
That's a good kick, but it was with the wind, and Georgia Southern, Nate, has excellent field position at the 46, their own 46.
Timeout, 10:01 to go third quarter. Eagles trail 21-19. We'll break 60 seconds. Local words, Georgia Southern Sports Network.
Listen up.
And Georgia Southern on first down will run Joe Ross. They'll kind of run him straight up the middle this time and just gets a couple of yards. Line of scrimmage about the 46. He maybe gets 2 on the carry on first down to about the 48-yard line.
Ross has really slipped around a good bit out there. The turf really is surprising. It's been more slipping by runners than I have seen in a long time on an artificial turf. It'll be 2nd and 8. Georgia Southern has 3 eligible receivers to the wide side of the field.
That's their right, and Raymond's back to throw, looking that way. He'll zip, he'll throw it. It is dropped. Sorrell at the 42-yard line. Wide open. He should have caught it.
Good gracious. He had a first down by about 3 or 4 yards. He sprinted to the right. Sorrell's ran down about a 14-yard outcut. The ball, folks, hit him right in the hands, and he just could not hold on to it, and he dropped it, and so it'll move back 3rd and 8. That's the second time at least in this game where third down passes have been dropped.
Second down.
What could have been first down passes were dropped, and so it'll be 3rd and 8.
Well, Darryl Hopkins comes back in, number 25. He caught one over the middle before for a big gainer. Let's see if we throw his way. Raymond goes instead straight ahead to Joe Ross, and he gets stuffed at the 50-yard line. I guess we were guessing that they would be looking for the pass and run right by him. Instead, Joe Ross is stopped near midfield. It's 4th down, and we've got to kick it right back.
They have an injured player down on the field.
Well, they sure do. 9:06 to go here in the third quarter of play, which has been the Georgia Southern quarter thus far this season. There's been no scoring in this quarter yet. 21-19, James Madison is leading. Terry Harvin about to punt the football for Georgia Southern, and 14 of his 34 punts thus far this season have been downed inside the opponent's 20-yard line, which is what he's going to try to do again. The wind is swirled at times, up to 20 miles per hour at the moment now. It appears to be dying down a good bit as we have the injury delay here.
Jermel Harris, 6'2", 260, the tackle, the defensive right tackle is down. Looks like he's working with his knee. That's always scary.
Again, next week we're home with UT Chattanooga, 1 o'clock, Paulson Stadium. Airtime along the network will be at 12:45. And again, it's going to get you tickets. Need to do so early in the week at the ticket office. Or you can call them at 681-0123. Basketball next Thursday night at home against the TT Bamberg team from West Germany. An exhibition game, 7:30 on Thursday evening. And the following Thursday, the 16th, also an exhibition game against the Florida Stars. This does not look good as far as his injury here.
Georgia Southern is really in an uphill position. They have 9:06 left in the third quarter. They're down 21-19, and they're giving up possession of the ball after having gotten it at excellent, I thought, field position. They only move the ball 2 or 3 yards and have to kick it. The ball is on the 50. The kicker will be standing on his own 35. And again, there's going to be a 10-man rush. They are really coming after the kicker.
Need a good snap here. Harvin will try to get it away. They're coming after him with 10 men. Here comes everybody up the middle, and Harvin just gets it away. It's a floater to the far side. Fair catch is called and made at about the 19-yard line. The crowd is claiming that we should get a penalty here.
Boy, they threw a flag on that.
They did throw a flag. We got a little too close to the...
Oh, that was way after the catch.
Man catching the ball. Watch the flag here. Personal foul. Yep. Oh, Georgia Southern.
Boy, I tell you what, that is a tough call because it looked to me like he just tried to avoid contact, but it's going to be a 15-yarder, and instead of having it at the 20, they will have it at the 35. There are too many things that are happening in this football game for Georgia Southern almost to overcome. It's something every time. There was no contact at all there except to keep from hurting the guy. He just held up.
That was our snapper, too.
Coach Russell's out there talking to him about it, but it won't do any good.
So James Madison gets a big break, and they come out to their 35-yard line. And they pop the left side, but it's not going too far with Willie Lanier now as he gets knocked down at about the 37-yard line. Bussaletti cracks him at the line and rides him down for a short gain of 2, and that's what's so pivotal here is stopping them on the first down.
Well, so far Lanier hasn't been the factor that he was in the early part of this game. They've taken him out now. I thought at that time they went with an unbalanced line. Yeah, they are. They're in an unbalanced set again.
2 backs are behind Williams, the quarterback. Motion man left side. They try to go to the inside. Williams still has it, trying to turn that corner, and he comes upfield to the 40-yard line and will ride him down at about the 41. Mike West coming all the way over along with Taz Dixon to make the stop. Mike West had a big ball game last week in the Sanford game, and he has picked up right where he left off last week again today. He's one of those inside linebackers that kind of roams around there. Not very big at all, but boy, does he make contact.
Very good pursuit that time. They did line up unbalanced to the right, went with the option play back to the short side of the formation. This time they unbalanced to the left.
3rd down possession play for the Dukes. Will they throw it? 3rd down and 4. Williams still has it, looking to throw. He's going to get away from one and get hit and drop. He's not going to make the first down as he gets hit at the 41-yard line. It's 4th down. They've got to kick Bussoletti there again to make the stop. Tim Brown helped out, and again they've got somebody shaken up on the play. This is one of their offensive people, right guard Eric Baylor, number 60, who's been shaken up. But the key thing is they've gone 1-2-3 kick here now twice.
Right, and in the first half, when he got in trouble throwing the ball, he elected to run a couple of times and made first downs out of it. This time he elected to run, didn't get anything. Always credit the secondary with good coverage and the line with great secondary pursuit after rushing the passer, then to recover and make the tackle on him. It's 4th and 4. They will punt the ball with the kicker standing on his own 26. And the safety man is going to be back there at his 19-yard line. This is, again, an opportunity, at least, Nate, to get pretty good field position.
Because we gave up 15 yards there, which really, they could be backed up a lot further.
That really turned it around for them, for Georgia Southern, when they got that play. And if anything, it was an inadvertent thing. I thought he just sort of caught the receiver so he wouldn't run into him. But that's neither here nor there. They got a 15-yarder.
21-19. James Madison leading. That was the score at the half. We're midway through the 3rd quarter. Snap back. A rush comes from up the middle as he booms a line drive again. Oglesby at his 23. Trying to circle back to the right. Now cuts it back and goes down at about the 25-yard line after a kick.
39 yards.
39 yards. So the Eagles, though, actually with the exchange here,
lost a lot.
Lose the difference of that penalty and a little bit more.
Yeah, they had the ball last time up there close to the 50, and this time they're on the 25 with 26 with 74 yards to go.
Georgia Southern coming up, runs the option to the right side with Joe Ross, and Joe got the ball up a little bit high, and he juggled it, and once he did that, it killed the play off, and there's no gain as he's down at about the 25-yard line. So you waste it down at 2nd and 10. Eagles coming from the near side hash mark, trailing 21-19. 6:47 to go here in the 3rd quarter in Harrisonburg, Virginia. Gross, 2nd down, rolling to his right, holding it. Now going to toss it late to Ernest Thompson. Turns the corner, comes upfield, and gets pushed out of bounds. Very close to the first down marker. And he's out of bounds near the 35. He's going to be shy of the first down by about 1 yard. Let me give you some more scores on the Dixie Crystal Sugar scoreboard. Georgia has beaten Temple 37-10. Georgia Tech is leading Western Carolina in the 4th quarter 21-7. And here is a very big 3rd down and almost 2. We've got to get to the 36-yard line. We're at the 24.5. The short yardage set is in. Thompson goes for a first down and more as he bangs on the right side all the way out to the 39-yard line.
They haven't had to use that short yardage set a whole lot today, but when they have, they've been very effective. That time the whole right side just surged off. Instead of making a yard, he made about 3, and it gives them a first down, and I think a very important one. Georgia Southern is still behind in this football game, 21-19. There's 6 minutes and 20 seconds left in this quarter. They have a drive at least started now.
First down call. Raymond hands it inside, and Joe tries to go over the top, and he bangs to the 41-yard line. There has not been much room over the middle now here in the second half at all.
That's a 3-yard play. And, of course, as we've said several times today, they're looking for at least 4. It'll make it 2nd and 7. If they can maintain those 4 yards plays, it's obvious that they make a first down on 3rd down every time. But when they get behind on this, then it makes them break a little bit from the pattern.
2nd down and 7. Raymond to the right side. Pitches late to Ernest Thompson. They wait this time and stay home. as Mark Kiefer, the cornerback, was able to go underneath and knock him down after a very short gain up to the 43.5-yard line. And we've got it second down, make it third down now, and still almost need 5. On the season coming into today's game, Frank, the Eagles have scored 76 points in the third quarter. The opponents had scored none.
Boy, today is the day that they need those points. That time the cornerback was knocked down but got up and made the play for no gain almost.
Third down as Karl Miller comes in motion, left side of the field. Need almost 6 here as he's lined up now as a wide receiver on the left side. Raymond spinning to the short side of the field. Keeps it, tossed it late. He threw it out of bounds as Joe Ross was almost not expecting it. He never touched it.
He really didn't. He just tossed it out of bounds. Luckily, they were on the short side. He checked to the option back that way. The motion man had already gone, was completely out of the play, so they were short a player on the right side. It looks again like there'll be a 10-man rush.
Snap back to Harvin. Here they come. He gets it away. Not a very deep kick, but he gets knocked down. Harvin has been knocked down, and a flag is down back at the line of scrimmage and passed it, of course, at the 32-yard line. Did they rough the kicker? It appears that should be the call.
Absolutely, and that time it was one of those things that it was way after the kick. He actually tackled him. He reached out and grabbed him by one arm and threw him down. It'll be a 15-yarder, and I believe that this might be the break that Georgia Southern's been looking for. Instead of a team with a lead having the ball at their own 28, Georgia Southern is going to get a first down, and it's going to be somewhere out there about the 43 or 4-yard line, I believe.
Well, it's a 15-yard walk-off from the line of scrimmage.
Right.
So we should go from the 42 to their side of the field. It'll go all the way down to their 43-yard line.
Yep. I thought I counted that one right, and that is a big play because you're suddenly in territory that you want to be in, and now is the time that you like to come out and hit a big play. On a turnover like this with a penalty and you get the ball back, a punting penalty is one of the worst ones you can possibly get.
So the Eagles get new life from the 43 of James Madison. Raymond tossing it wide. Karl Miller has nobody there, and he goes down for a loss. Back at the 47, one-on-one coverage. Strong safety Richard Gravius comes up and makes a big one-on-one play.
Absolutely. 2 great plays that Gravius has made today, and that's his second one. That's an open field situation where you really got to play defense. Miller tried to put a good fake on him, but it didn't affect him at all. He made a sound tackle, and there is no gain on the play.
It's a loss. Back to the 47. It's second down and 14. 4:14 clock running. Left to go. Third quarter. Hopkins in motion. Raymond pulling back to throw. Needs one block. Wants to step up and run now. Goes to the 40. Still going as he fights to the 36-yard line. He'll pick up 11 yards on the play, maybe 12, as they'll bring him down at the James Madison 36-yard line. It sets up the Eagles. Third down and a short 3, and they may go to the short yardage offense here.
I think they will, and that was a big play. The softness on the corner on the sprint out has been there all day, and that quarterback made a great decision to take it quick that time. Turned up the field as soon as he got out there and made a great gain. 3rd and 3, strong set to the right.
See if they go to Thompson again. The linebacker's ready to charge. Ernest gets the call. He gets stuffed at the 35-yard line. We didn't have any blocking for him. And now you've got it 4th down and a long 2.5 yards still to go. You're out of field goal range. I think you're out of field goal range because you're kicking into what might be the wind. But first, the Eagles are going to take a timeout here, I believe, and talk things over. Let's see. No, they did not decide to go here. They're going to go for it on 4th down.
This is a critical play, obviously. They're not in the short yardage set. They're in a regular set. 4th down and a long, long 3.
Let's see if he'll sprint on the corner left side. Gross trying to come around the corner here. Needs a couple of yards. He dives. He got it. He just got it by about the length of the football as he lunged forward and spun his body out there and stretched it out. He should have it. They did not give him a very good spot, but yes, it is a first down Eagles.
I tell you what, it's just a play that they have just got to run, and that is a sprint out keep, and that's what he did that time. He kind of stumbled, but he made the first down, and it was a critical one.
Well, I'll tell you what, they've called a TV timeout in the middle of play here, which is very unusual to stop a drive.
I tell you, coaches don't like it, I know that. It is really tough when a team gets something going just to be stopped so often.
Well, it's one thing to have the TV timeouts at the end of possessions, which you normally would have at the end of the punts, and there's been enough kicks in this quarter, one would think. But anyway, they decided we'll keep it right here because we've been taking some less than 60-second breaks here.
Well, you always wonder who gets a break on a timeout like this.
The short side of the field. Terrance Sorrell to the right side of the field. Raymond Gross is ready to pull him up. Spinning inside, he'll go to the left himself. Going to toss it. It's loose off the fingertips of Hopkins, and it goes out of bounds. Dangerous play.
Boy, he pitched at that time with somebody all over Hopkins. Hopkins got his left hand, just fingers on it, and actually it was almost like a lateral, but it gained maybe a half a yard. But, boy, that is so dangerous. The ball's been out of bounds on tosses now twice. One place, Nate, that they could really maybe hurt somebody with would be the shovel pass or the Utah screen, because on the sprint out, they have so much room out there running.
2nd down and 9 from the 32 of James Madison. Raymond still has it. Going to go wide. Ernest Thompson coming to the corner. 30, 25 fighting for the first down. He's got it. And he's out of bounds at the 24-yard line of James Madison. Inside the 20, make it the 19-yard line.
Boy, Ernest made a great fake twice that time. He took the ball on a quick pitch on the option. He turned his shoulders inside as if he was turning up. That kind of stalled the defensive man who was stalking him, and he went to the outside. Then he did it again, and finally just fought the sideline for a first down. Inside of the 20 to the 18, right hash. First down.
First down, Eagles. 2:37 to go in the third quarter. Going to keep it himself. Raymond going to pitch it wide to Hopkins. Needs a block, steps over one, and he dives inside the 15. He got a couple of extra yards on his own. He had some blocking outside for a second with Ernest Thompson out there, but he did a lot of that going up in the air on his own. He's down to the 13-yard line.
Boy, both of them come up limping. Thompson just ran a good play to the right, came back and made a great block on the left. But at the same time, is that Hopkins that's hopping off?
He's leaving, and Karl Miller comes back in. The ball left side of the field just outside the James Madison 13. It's 2nd down and a short 5. Eagles trailing by 2. Give it to Joe Ross, and Joe's near the 10-yard line as he bangs straight ahead for about 3 more.
Now, there's no option to that. That's a straight handoff to the fullback with the right side of the line just charging straight ahead, and they made a great play out of it. It's 3rd down and what is that, 2? 3rd and 2, and the ball is short of the 10-yard line at about the 10.5.
We're going to put in the tight end for blocking purposes on the left side as Sorrell is out. So we take out one receiver on 3rd down and a short 2. Give it inside to Joe Ross, and he has stopped at the 9-yard line. He is close to the first down. Let's see what kind of a spot they give him.
It might be a couple of inches in here. They're going to take a timeout for measurement. Boy, that is very close. I thought he made it, but this is an odd angle, isn't it, to read that thing? It's going to be close.
So we have 1:14 to go in the third quarter. James Madison leading 21-19. Joe Ross now 28 carries today, 95 yards. They will stretch out the chain, and we will have a 4th down, Georgia Southern, and a foot to go.
No, about 4 inches to go. They don't have a foot. I saw him do like this. It is just a very short amount of space, but that could be like 100 yards. They've got to make this, and they're going for it.
So the James Madison crowd is going to stand up and holler here.
Remember last time, power eye right, they stopped them for no gain. It's 4th down and 4 inches.
Ernest Thompson, the deep back. He gets the call. Over the top he goes. He's down to the 6-yard line. He catapulted for 3 yards straight up in the air. Tremendous surge. Boy, oh boy, that time we pushed him back, and he went over the top.
Boy, I tell you, he went up in the air like he came off of a springboard. That always scares me. That ball is out in front of him. He got both hands on it, but he just lunged up over everybody. Good charge by the right side. Good blocks by the backs. But, boy, did he take off. It's 1st down at the 6. The ball is exactly in the middle of the field.
Eagles trailing 21-19, 44 seconds to go, third quarter. Going to keep it inside. Raymond still has the football, steps up to the 2-yard line as he goes down at the 2. They just caught him from behind. He was about to try to turn it up and go all the way in. Inside linebacker Darryl Thompson was able to bring him down at the James Madison 2-yard line. It's 2nd down and goal to go from the 2, and we'll put the short yardage set back in here, which means Lester Eford, 35, will check in. along with Alonzo McGee to help with the blocking, as Ernest Thompson is the deep back. This could be the final play of the third quarter. Second down, goal to go. Clock winding down, 4 seconds. Gross from the 2 gives it to Ernest. He's over the top. He is hit, and he is stopped at the 1-yard line as the third quarter comes to an end. At the end of 3 quarters, your score, James Madison, 21. Georgia Southern, 19. Set to go with the first play of the fourth quarter. The ball is about 1.5 yards outside. They've moved it back to the 1.5-yard line, and it's third down and goal to go from the 1.5-yard line. Thompson, the deep back. Gross gives it to him. He's up and over, and he is not in. They did not give us the call. He gets pushed back to the 1, and James Madison has held, and I think we've got to go play it safe here and kick a field goal.
I don't think there's any question about that. Boy, they really had a good defensive charge and met him up in the air and knocked him back. The ball looked like it was going to be right at the goal line. They mark it about the yard line. The extra point will be just about, it'll be shorter than a normal extra point for the field goal.
18-yard effort, ball placed down. The kick is up, and the kick is good. And Georgia Southern takes the lead, 22-21, with 14:28 to go in the game. We'll be back in 60 seconds after a network break on the Georgia Southern Football Network. All right, David Kuhl is set to kick it off, and he kicks a line drive, and it bounces down at the 10-yard line to the 15, to the 20, and this time no big return to the 21, as we've gotten very cautious now with our kickoffs.
Funny-looking kick. They kind of floated down there like a knuckleball, but they made it the catch on the first bounce, and so they didn't didn't help Georgia Southern very much. They get it to the 21. You know, that was a super drive to get down there, and they had to go for the 3. There's no question about that. But now they have got to come up and play defense like they haven't played all day.
On its first down and 10 from the 21-yard line. They pop the middle. Not too far this time. Willie Lanier gets hit. Taz Dixon came up early. Darryl Hendrix came up early and shut him down for a gain of 2 on first down. And that's been the difference so far in the second half, is containing Willie Lanier, especially on first down.
Yeah, holding them to no first downs, I believe the third quarter was an absolute great part of this football game.
There was no scoring in the third quarter, which had belonged to Georgia Southern all season long coming into this game. 2nd and 8, Williams still has the football, stopping, wanting to throw a pass. He gets away from one. Now going to zip it back. Man wide open, tight end. Up at the 36-yard line, Randell Boone has to ride down the tight end, Walt Fry, but it's a first down, James Madison. And that time, too much time, as quarterback Eric Williams able to get out of trouble.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's great defense all the way around, but you have to credit the quarterback. He had nobody to throw to. They put a lot of pressure on him, and finally, after kind of eluding a tackler, he made a pass back across the field to the tight end and got him a first down. The quarterback is quite a player.
So James Madison at their 37-yard line. Williams still has it, running it himself, cuts upfield, gets a good lick as he gets crunched just inside the 40-yard line. We had, again, our safeties coming up quick on the play. Williams gets help. They got somebody shaken up on the bottom of the play.
Boy, he took a heavy lick that time, and that's what you'd like to do, is stretch out the option, slow it down, then when the quarterback turns up, have a safety coming in there and really crunching him, and that's what happened that time. They picked up maybe 2 yards, but it was a great tackle, and now they have an injured player, and
Lanier,
and it is the big hoss.
So he's helped off. Looks like it might be his arm, but a little wobbly as he comes off. 2 minutes gone in the fourth quarter. The Eagles lead at 22-21. We were down 21-6. Second down and about 7, just inside their 40-yard line. James Madison from the eye. Williams gets it away, and they've got the ball to Fumbaruski. The lineman's got it, and he's got a first down. Great faking with a Fumbaruski as they left the ball on the ground. The right guard, Chris Shellhammer, wound up with the football.
Now, this is a play they've run a lot this year, apparently. The quarterback takes the ball and puts it on the ground behind the right guard, and somebody came through and really hit the quarterback. Then the guard picks it up and runs to the left. They made enough for the first down, and have suddenly gotten the ball out to their own 49-yard line on the left hash.
James Madison moving here, trying to take back the lead. They're at their 49. They pop it inside, and they've got a big gainer. inside the 40. Willie Lanier's healthy now as he runs over the Eagles down to the Georgia Southern 35-yard line.
Boy, it's amazing to me what's happening on this trap. He has run the ball now 2 or 3 times with the trap and just had gaping hole, which he did that time. Nobody came to him until he had run about 10 yards. The ball now is at the 35-yard line. First down at the Georgia Southern 45, left hash bar.
35-yard line, the line of scrimmage. First down and 10 as they get close to field goal territory. They run it inside with Medley, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. As Steve Busseletti came through and made the stop. He may have fallen forward for an inches or so, but there's not much room to run on that time. We're now at 11:45 to go in the game. Georgia Southern 22, James Madison 21. There is no gain on the play. The ball is still at the Georgia Southern 35-yard line. It's right about in the middle of the field, where you can go uphill or downhill, or right in the center. They line up in an I formation behind Eric Williams. He still has the ball, trying to cut it back. He gets hit. The ball is loose, and Georgia Southern has the football. The Eagles have recovered. Darryl Hendrix has got it, and the Eagles have stopped him. I was just thinking they had not made a mistake all day, James Madison.
They really haven't, and again, they are running their best play that time. They ran the option play for the quarterback, which I think, along with the trap to the fullback, has been the 2 key plays. He got hit from inside out, and the ball came out loose, and it was a great recovery. Who made the recovery?
Darryl Hendrix.
Darryl Hendrix. I'll tell you what, I think he made the tackle also and came off. It is a whole lot warmer than I would have ever thought it would be. The sun coming through here has really heated us up at least.
Let's see if the Eagles' offense can get heated up. Leading by a point. The Eagles take over at the 36-yard line. Raymond has it, steps to the left, and lunges for just 2. There was not much room that time as they recovered in a hurry to bring him down. Stepping back very quickly, Richard Bryant, number 49, who has played most of the game at outside linebacker. And we've got somebody shaken up downfield on the opposite side. That is Darrell Hopkins, who was hobbling before, as he's going to be helped off the field. But he is going off on his own.
Boy, the tough thing, again, they ran the option. And Raymond Gross, running it to his left when he went to turn up the field, slipped down. He had some room in there, I believe, would have made a pretty good gain out of it. And I don't have a record of how many times, but I'm guessing at least 4 to 5 times today when he's going to cut up the field, he has actually lost his footing and slipped down. It's 2nd down and 8.
We just got under 11 minutes to go in the game. The Eagles leading 22-21. Karl Miller goes in motion and stops. Raymond still has it. They'll toss it to Karl. Can he cut upfield? That's by 1. He's got a first down. Boy, oh boy, he turns it upfield with a head of steam on him, and he pushed through there to get that first down. He's up to the 48, 49-yard line.
And boy, what's beautiful to me is Ernest Thompson not only blocked the 3 safety, but he also blocked the corner. He knocked 2 guys out, and the runner had the great knack of turning inside of those 2. That's a great block that was made and made a super run into the sideline for the first down.
The Eagles now at their 49-yard line. Left side of the field, you've got Donnie Allen to give to Joe Ross. Steps over 1, ran into his own blocker as he gets hit at the 45-yard line. We had a chance there to really do something that time. He ran into George Jones, his right tackle, trying to block for him. And
hey, George, let's go. He was right up behind George and then ran in front of him, past him. He picked up about 6. So it'll be 2nd down and 4, and now they're into James Madison territory at their James Madison 44-yard line. The ball about the middle of the field.
2nd down, let's call it about 3.5 for a first down. Raymond still has the ball. He's back to throw. Wants to look deep for Thompson. Instead, he goes short to Joe Ross, 30. Joe Ross, 25, 20, 15, 10. Joe Ross has got a goal to go. Georgia Southern back at the James Madison 6-yard line. We got somebody shaking up backfield. It's Brad Bernard up slow. But he'll try to make it downfield. We had a couple of receivers to throw to that time, and he found the safety valve, really, with Joe Ross flaring out.
This is the 2nd time today that I think that the quarterback, Gross, has gone to his alternate receiver. Now, that's the mark of a good passer. They keep talking about Georgia Southern not being able to throw. That's as good as you can do. He got in deep trouble. The last person that could possibly get the ball would be Ross. He comes out of the backfield last. And he found him and got him a very fine touch pass. If you notice, when he found him, he pulled up and just laid the ball to him, and Ross made a good run to the 6-yard line.
There was a penalty on that play, defensive holding, and of course it was declined. Raymond still has the ball, still going, 3, 2, 1, touchdown! Gross steps over everybody on the right side and goes into the right corner of the end zone. And the Georgia Southern fans, a couple of hundred on the far side, trying to make as much noise as they can as the Eagles have gone up 28-21 with 9.5 minutes to go in this game.
What a great player Gross is. He ran the option. He made about 3 fakes. He faked to the fullback who got tackled. Then he faked the pitch once, faked the pitch second, and then finally dove into the goal line. Never lost his footing and stayed up all the way through that touchdown run.
Mike Dowas extra point is a big one, and it's good. 9.5 minutes to go in the game. Georgia Southern 29, James Madison 21. We're back in 60 seconds. Georgia Southern has come from trailing 21-6 to take a 29-21 lead, but we got a long way to go in this one, folks.
We have, but boy, what a comeback this has been so far.
Here's that line drive kick. It scoots down to the 20-yard line. They'll get a good return. Lanier comes across the 30 to about the 33-yard line. But we have decided, though, even with the wind, and I'm surprised with the wind, we wouldn't try to kick it out of the end zone.
Yeah, because they have been kicking it way deep in the end zone with the wind. I'm a little surprised, too, but when you have 2 touchdowns run back against you in 2 games back-to-back, it scares you.
All right, let's see what they'll do now. Do they start to throw the football from their 32-yard line? 2 receivers, right side of the field. Williams rolling to his right, stops, chases on. He gets away from 1. He gets away from 2 and get hit from behind. Gibbs Smith, boy, oh boy, he had to come from a long way back as Williams just made about 5 people miss him.
Boy, he's a good player. They lined up in an unbalanced line. Georgia Southern seemed to handle that very well because it gave them 2 quick receivers to the right side. They covered the receivers on a sprint-out pass. He reversed his field, came back, made about 6 yards at 2nd and 4.
The lights have been turned on here. They're of no consequence yet. They try to trap inside. The Eagles stay home and stuff him. Lanier wound up with the football at the 39. No gain on the play at all. No gain. Patrick Parr, number 90, gets in there and makes a quick stop.
They actually lost about 6 inches on the play. That's the first time, I believe, Nate, that they have stopped the fullback cold. And they certainly did. Unbalanced line right, tried to get a quick play to the fullback. Boy, did they hit him. Line.
Another big possession play here. It's 3rd down and 4. Williams still has the ball, wanting to throw. Zips, tipped, and it is broken up. Broken up. They almost had a second receiver try to get it. They had 2 receivers, the tight end Fry and the tall guy Hayes, in the same spot. So we had 4 men covering, and we were able to knock it away.
Michael Berry had a good drop back on the weak side of the formation and came across just flying and knocked the ball with his right hand loose, and it deflected around. A little scary for a minute. But they'll have to kick the football, or at least they're lined up to kick it on his own 25.
The Eagles are playing return here. And here is the kick. He kicks a line drive. It hangs up in the air. Oglesby will catch it. Try to go back to his left. Cut upfield. 40, 45, 50. Down the middle. Oglesby breaks away. Oglesby's going to go in and score a Georgia Southern touchdown. He just ran it back 70 yards.
Boy, that's what you look for all the time in a football game. They had a line drive kick. They had a punt return on. The receiver came up and caught it on the dead run straight down the middle. Boy, did he catch them flat-footed and made a great run out of it. How many yards did you say?
I said 70. I thought he caught it at the 30.
Boy, what a great run that was, and what smart play that was. It was a line drive kind of a kick, and he realized that. The coverage was pretty close to him, and he just broke right up the center and made a... Oh, does this turn it around?
Wow, 35-21 the Eagles lead. 7:58 to go in the game, and all of a sudden the crowd starts to head towards the exits here in Harrisonburg. Maybe they know something we don't know. Extra point try is up. The kick is good. Eagles 36, the Dukes 21. We'll break 60 seconds for local words on the Georgia Southern Sports Network. James Madison's in the middle of the field, trailing 36-21.
2nd down and 4. Taz Dixon was in good position that time. The unbalanced line again to the left.
You've got to expect the throw pretty soon. Long count. Fakes, back to throw. Williams looking, going to get chased out of the pocket, and here he goes. Trouble, 45-40, 35, and out of bounds as he steps at the 31-yard line of Georgia Southern. And as they said, he is a lot more dangerous when he gets chased out of the pocket.
And he's limping like he's hurt. If he can run like that hurt, boy, what would he run like if he wasn't? They got in an unbalanced line left, had a bootleg pass back to the right. Nobody was open. Well, I take that back. I thought that the sprinter going down the field was open, but he was under pressure, reversed his field, made a magnificent run. 1st and 10 at the 30.
James Madison coming right back down the field at the Eagles' 31-yard line. One back behind him. That's Lanier. They give the ball to Lanier. Lanier to the line of scrimmage, gets hit and fights forward just for a couple. We will take these plays as Giff Smith rides him down for the tackle because they keep the clock running. And right now, on defense, you want to keep them inbounds and use up a couple of minutes. 6 minutes and 49 seconds. The clock is running to go in the game. Georgia Southern with a 36-21 lead. 2nd down, he got about 3. It's 2nd down and 7. You got to believe they got to throw the ball here. Williams on a long count. Pulls back to his left. They hand it off inside. They trap us 20, 15, down to the 10. It's 1st and goal. What a great comeback play. That's one of those wingback trap plays as they run number 39, Mike Campbell, back from his flanker position. And boy, there was a big hole to run through.
They line up in an unbalanced line to the left with a wingback between the tight ends. He takes the ball on an inside handoff, a forward handoff from the quarterback after he fakes to the tailback. He went back off right guard, a beautiful trap in there, great block. There was enough room for Nate and myself and Hugh to run through, and they've moved it all the way down inside the 10 to about the 9.5. That's a beautiful play.
1st down and goal to go. James Madison moving. They keep it inside again with Williams. He gets hit this time. Nowhere to go. Nowhere to go as Mike West comes up and makes a big tackle from the outside and stopped him at the 9-yard line. And that play, of course, keeps the clock running.
Williams, the quarterback, on the option play to his left. They elected to keep the ball. He really didn't gain more than a foot or two. I can't tell exactly, but the ball is about the 9.5-yard line. And there's a timeout.
And the officials run in here now. The ball got kicked.
At the 9.5-yard line, 2nd down.
2nd down and goal to go. It should crank up the clock again. And they will do just that. It's running with 5 minutes and 35 seconds left to go in the game. Eagles lead at 36-21. Williams keeps it inside. They'll bang to the 5. And we crunch him as he goes inside the 5 to the 4. And it's one of those plays right now you don't want to be in a big hurry to get up off the tackle either.
You really don't. And that's 2 times they have scored with that play. But this time the big man gets up limping a little bit.
See if he stays in there. Lanier going back to the huddle. He is definitely limping. They're inside the Georgia Southern 5, and the Eagles want a timeout. Timeout. Georgia Southern elects to use one of their timeouts on defense here with 5:06 to go in the game because it's 3rd down, goal to go from the 5, and of course they've got 2 plays to go 5 yards.
Yeah, and that's the only choice they have. They're not going to do anything except try to go for it. Lanier's lining up as the only back in the backfield on this double wing set.
Williams behind his center. 3rd down. Do we charge him? Flush him out. He's rolling to his right. Stops. Looks. Throws for the end zone, and it is tipped away. The last second, Shane Maxwell, number 44, one of our linebackers, was dropping off there and knocks it away. Boy, that's a hard play that he just made. He covered the tight end all the way. An excellent fake that time. I thought a very good call. They faked to that big 6'4", 262, 245-pound guy going up the middle. The quarterback rolled out to his right. Looked like he threw it right on the target, but it was a great defensive effort to knock that ball down. And now, James Madison is called timeout. And Georgia Southern doing what we've seen some other teams do in the past, a la Middle Tennessee State, huddling up on the sideline with the entire coaching staff, the defensive coaches all over there with them, because realistically, here is the ball game as far as James Madison is concerned, if they're to have any chance of coming back. They've got it 4th down, just inside the Georgia Southern 5-yard line. The clock is stopped with exactly 5 minutes remaining in the football game. Very interesting, too. Coach Russell even walked out there and hollered out there a little encouragement or whatever. I'll tell you what, this is such a pride thing on both sides of the ball, and this is what football is all about. The offense has got to score. The point of the ball is just inside of the 5. The back part of the ball is just inside the 5-yard line on the left hash. And the defense has gotten everything going on this. Pride and the football game, as you called it. What a football play. This is what college football, I think, is all about. Well, let's see what the call is going to be for... Dude, I'd even like to be out there myself right now, wouldn't you? I told you we have a spot for you later on. Come on. Here's the game for the Dukes. Williams, the quarterback, brings him up. Lanier goes in motion now to the right side of the field. Quarterback draw, 2-1. He didn't make it. He did not make it. He is stopped at the 1-yard line as he got caught from behind. Bussoletti, I believe, had him by the ankle, and he tried to dive in. He almost tried to extend his arm into the end zone with the ball, but he got stopped on the 1.
Boy, I love the call. I think he was a little bit quick to do it. If he had just said